28 weeks.
We are officially in the third trimester.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure. How are you feeling?
It's been a shift in my comfort levels in the last week, I would say. It's funny because like the way that like pregnancy is like typically like lined up with symptoms, like the first trimester you get like you're tired and you're nauseous, and that happened. And then once I hit the second trimester, it was like everything kind of got better. It wasn't that bad. And then all of a sudden, like last week, all of a sudden things were just like aching and hurting, and sleep has gotten significantly more uncomfortable.
I slept good last night, though.
Although, dare I say it, the last 2 days, my reflux has been, knock on wood, much, much better.
Damn.
I think the trick is that I don't drink coffee on an empty stomach anymore.
Yeah, what side?
This one.
Come on.
Just because my face so at least.
Wow, so in love.
I'm rambling. Anyway.
Hey, you're the best.
I feel like crap, sort of, but, you know.
Thanks for nothing, kid.
No, it's fine.
Cravings this week.
Still everything I see.
Yo, for real. We watched, this is part of The Grateful, we watched Richie Rich, which, held up enough. Mm-hmm. And we watched Three Ninjas. And Three Ninjas, Tum Tum always eats, and he was eating red licorice. And no surprise, minutes in, you were like, I need some red licorice in my life.
Yeah, not like Twizzlers, but like a good licorice that's like thick and soft and red.
What is licorice that isn't Twizzlers? We'll figure that out offline.
Yeah, it has to be like a different thing. Yeah, but anything I see, people eat.
Box of chocolates, where'd that come from?
Yeah, I was watching an episode of Grey's Anatomy, and it was like a Valentine's Day theme, and like the doctors were like standing around eating from like a box of chocolates, and I was like, I want a box of chocolates.
Surprise, we got them in the thing.
I don't even know, like it wasn't even like I want a specific piece of that chocolate. It was like I want an assortment of chocolates.
You know what we forgot to do last time, but we could do the head of lettuce thing.
Oh, like bring it out.
Yeah, should we bust it out?
We can.
Yeah, you know what a head of lettuce is.
The baby size of a head of lettuce.
Yeah, we'll plug in the shot.
The picture.
What are you grateful for this week?
I'm grateful that it's not really like a this week thing, but I'm grateful at the thought of once he's here, you're going to be working from home, which is not the norm for us before quarantine, and now it will be, and I'm actually really grateful that's going to be the case, because I think that'll be really good it'll be just nice, I think, for us both to have like that experience, but I think that's like one of the scarier parts is when the other spouse goes back to work, and it's just kind of like with a partner, and it makes things like much more like one person, usually the mom, having to take on a lot of a bigger role, which is terrifying. So I'm grateful I'm grateful for the situation in that way, I guess.
Yeah, and our plans have been upended in that if we were counting on having like support from your mom or my parents or anybody, like that's less reliable. Like we're not gonna have somebody move in the house for a week, like they may have prior. So
yeah,
that kind of switches to. It'll be good that I'll be more around, hopefully.
Yeah. So.
What'd you find challenging?
Probably, which I feel like I say every week, is probably just my more physical discomfort, not getting a little bit more strong. But going back to grateful, Bobby Lynn dropped me off her old maternity pillow, which I was like, I don't need one. And then I slept last night, and I was like, you know what? I need one.
That's classic you, because you were like, I don't know, I don't need one. And then I ordered you one online, and you got one. So you're about to go from none to so many.
Yeah, so that's actually good. So the challenge has been managing, because the pain that I get is much more, is a result of sitting a lot. But I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like going to work and walking places. I'm like here. So it's hard to like not want to just be sitting or laying in bed or whatever.
Yeah, it's easy to kind of just chill.
Because even like doing work in the chairs we have make it probably the worst. It's actually much more comfortable for me to sit in the bed and do work. But anyway, I'm
Yeah.
very talkative today on this one.
Wow. You've been all cooped up. Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm grateful for that, we've been distancing and not really, and like the weather is kind of breaking. It's getting really nice. So yesterday, Bill and Bobby and Grayson and Nora
Yeah.
came over
That too.
and we went for a walk outside because our neighborhood is really like conducive to that and a big field. And Grayson ran up and kissed your belly and mostly, was running around and
Yeah.
did his best for the most
Yeah.
part. But
We
he was
tried
just
our best not to like touch him, which is hard, but
yeah, it's cool. Like kids being so excited to see you and like
yeah,
seeing our buds. That was really good.
it was.
And then like watching movies with you was nice. Like we had like just a good reset weekend. And challenging remains the uncertainty. Like even you saying like that I'll be home. Like I think I'll be home, and I'm pretty confident I have that autonomy, but I don't know what it's gonna be. And the world is like. I literally texted you an article minutes ago about like people are starting like, oh, it's nice out. Let's take the risks and expand our circle a little bit. And most people we know are doing that in some way, and we are too. And just being mindful to still take this thing seriously, because you also hear like, as of May 17th, 2020, we're just about 2 months in exact. I started my job in March. And
March 17th, literally.
Yeah. So it could easily go into the summer. This could peak up again. It could in the fall spike again. So the severity is unknown. There's so much information. So I think that's what's challenging for me is like balancing it all and being so new. Like this, another challenge for me is like this is hitting everybody so hard that like support system I'm used to, whether it's here or at work, especially like this whole situation is hitting my boss really hard, who's got parental care issues with her folks and childcare issues. And so I'm just like the new guy on my own, feeling like I need to be like rocking it out. And I'm not like super backed up, and she's been super good about it and like not putting pressure on me. But the pressure I put on myself to like do stuff is like, I'm getting overwhelmed during the week when I have like stuff to do and I need like a little more. And I always have trouble asking for help, and then like people close to us, like if they're busy and there's a lot of impact and we know a lot of people who are out working in the world. And so balancing all that has been challenging.
Yeah.
I think. But I'm excited for baby. This week, head of lettuce. Next week, cauliflower.
This episode felt much more like a diary of our lives.
And I want to do more of that. I want to focus more on like the COVID and the circumstance and where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, even like we, the first month in, we would go to the grocery store together, and then it was like I stopped going to the grocery store, and now I've started going back with you to the grocery store. We go at night when there's like really no people. I don't really touch anything when I'm there.
Literally nothing.
Like I keep my hands in my pockets.
Other than your grocery list, you just point and I grab. And we might not do that too much. We've been just getting excited to get out in an environment that's we deem low risk.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know people who are not like I have relatives who are like even more isolated as far as like getting everything delivered and, really not going out at all. And there's like parts where I'm just like, yeah, it's a hard, now I think as we've gone like 2 months into this whole thing and some parts of the country are starting to loosen up and open up, like what is that, like how is that actually going to look? Like, the reason the numbers are going down is because we've been isolating for 2 months. So now that we're slowly reopening, like, is it just going to cause the numbers to go back up? And then we're going to have to go back to even stricter requirements. And
I think I watched something on Netflix today, Coronavirus Explained, and it was like, I think this happened in like 100 years ago in Philly. There was some outbreak and then there was a parade scheduled and they had it and the cases like back up. We'll see. I think we're going to keep playing it cautious and taking these like calculated risks that we deem are, we're protecting ourselves. And like the grocery stores, you don't really get within 20 feet of another person. Right. Like we've, especially the the times we're going
Yeah,
purposely distant. So
for sure. We go like within an hour of the store closing, so there's like nobody there.
yeah,
And even
truly.
like, I felt like, yeah, I'm trying to like not allow myself to like get too loose on it either, because the other day, something happens, we would be so upset. So
Yeah. That article, I read it, you'll read, and it's a good reminder on like how to do things, and like being outside is better, big spaces. Like obviously
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
we've had
know,
our parents come and kind of hang out outside, and I feel like better about like being outside because it just feels like,
and that's it. It's like safer, like even if a droplet of like, this virus passes by like droplets, if that hits the air, it's so much more to dissipate than like in this confined
yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah,
So if you're doing masks, it just adds layers of like safety and
yeah.
whatever. Um, Final segment, names. How we feeling?
We have a unique one. Should we share it with our 5 viewers?
I think it's been in here before, but yeah, we can.
I don't know if we have. Did we talk about it last episode with Aaron?
I think we talked about it every episode. Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it with Aaron for sure.
I can't remember if it was on camera or off. Anyway, as everyone who watches this knows, we are huge fans of the Avett brothers, and we have been considering the name Avett.
I think Avid is the only one we both don't hate at the moment.
Yeah, we're both unsure about it, and I think because it's so
It
different.
seemed like, I never thought we'd give our kid like a weird goofball name.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, but it means a lot to us, and it's like no coincidence that every time we watch them play live or like kind of reminiscing, it's like, I think that would work. And it's not totally stupid. Like it's not Apple. It's not, what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's definitely a lot of stupider names out there.
And there are like normal names that I think are stupider than that name. So I don't know. We'll see.
It makes me kind of think of Everett, which feels like a really like bougie name, but
that feels like a stupider name to me. I'd rather name my kid Avett and be like, I like the Avett brothers. So what?
Yeah. So that's kind of on the list right now.
Yeah. Other ones are still as they were. There hasn't been any other names we've floated that either of us liked.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, we started our registry today, and it said that there's like 83 days until our due date. So we're finally like at the point now where I've tried avoiding the thought of all of this kind of. That's probably like a anxiety protector of like.
Yeah, you know about the superstitions by now.
It's not the superstitions. Like, I mean, part of it, is like, getting like too amped up for something, God forbid. But like, also, I think I'm just like scared and terrified. So I just haven't been thinking about it. And so now I'm like, I have moments where I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. We need to start preparing. So I'm thinking I'm sure in the next like 2 months we'll ramp up the name search too.
TBD.
Yeah.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Love you. Be good. Drink your milk.